This week marks the release of this week's job numbers and poverty report from Stats SA. Africa's most industrial economy will also unpack the finances of Eskom. The embattled power utility was handed a 59 billion rand bailout to spread over the next 2 years.
Unemployment in the first quarter of 2019 was recorded at 27.6%. This led to a decline in the labor force participation rate to 59.3%. But on Tuesday, Stats SA is expected to release the jobless rate as recorded between April and June. South Africa's unemployment numbers remain amongst the highest in the world. At the same time, Stats SA will release the national poverty lines. This gives an outlook of how changes in the cost of living are constructed. The outlook contains both food and non-food components of household consumption expenditure.
Looking at exactly, what's happening with regards to the rand, especially with, that negative outlook by Fitch. So basically, this lifeline of 59 billion rands that came out basically from the government saying they're going to put it back into Eskom to hopefully help them, fight some of the problems there. The problem is this 59 billion rands is just 59 billion rands without any conditions, right? So it's not indicating what it means for Eskom. What does Eskom need to do in order to actually earn the 59 billion lifeline, so to say? So that obviously rose a red flag or rang the bells for these companies that rate us, especially our debt. And then Fitch was one of them, which basically came out and said this is credit negative, so they don't like that. That sent the rand basically going from like you said earlier, around 1383 or something like that, into where we are at 1430, maybe even less now. So but the big problem is that Moody's, which actually is the one that still has us not under junk status, because Fitch actually has us on junk. This might actually force them, this might force their hand actually into also, considering rating us with negative outlook and maybe taking us to junk, which is, I hope it doesn't happen for us, because that'll be the worst of the worst. Unfortunately, as you can see, I don't even have words to describe it. What this means, because between the rand and the US dollar, is that if the US dollar, if the central bank, in the US doesn't lower the rates on Friday by at least 25 basis points, at least that's what the economists are saying, that could even be more worse for the rand then, because it will mean more pressure on the rand, which is not good news.
Fitch has cited the widening budget deficit and stubbornly high government spending for lowering South Africa's economic outlook to negative from stable. The rand has since weakened to its worst level in over a month. The local currency moved to 14 rand 30 against the US dollar, losing 3.3% since last Thursday. Nothando Makutulela, SABC News, Johannesburg.